thing that I want to tell you is that this is all you've got. It's right here. This is all you've got. We've got to come to an understanding that the past is over with. It's not here any longer. And we also have to know that we are the ones that, in consciousness, that create the future. And it's you in your consciousness today that is going to create the future. Not just tomorrow, but next week, next month, a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. We rarely do, we rarely come to that place where we really understand living in the now. And when we can come to the place where we learn to live in the now, we realize that in this now, it is my responsibility to feel joy. It is my responsibility to feel love. And it is not my responsibility to fear. If I have a loving God, a God's presence, power, energy, God's intelligence, God's infinite mind within me, if I have that intelligence everywhere present, wherever I go, the corner of the earth, in my home, if I have that present, why do I get into fear? Why do I allow my consciousness to go somewhere that is going to take me down in vibrational frequency? The interesting thing is that we're all vibrating, we're all a frequency. And those people here, you are the leading edge. You truly are the leading edge. When I look at people who come from an understanding of principle, and I know you understand principle, because principle is all there is when it comes to creating. You create from your thoughts, your feelings, your perceptions, your ideas. You create from what you focus on. What are you focusing on now? Where is your mind now? Even when we get to the place where we just idly think a beautiful sunset, we idly think about that car that goes by, that Jaguar, we idly think about that trip, we are creating. We are creating. It's going into the mix. And what we've got to understand is that's consciousness. That's consciousness. And when it comes to consciousness, I get to choose. You get to choose. Now, when we talk about 2013, have you noticed that ever since we've come into this year, everything started to change? Rapid changes in your life. Relationships, jobs, careers, changing and moving. Different things have been happening. This is also a feminine energy that we are working with today. A very feminine energy. We have been accustomed to having the Piscean energy, which was where the planet was prior to going into the Aquarian Age. Remember the Aquarian Age? Remember some of you guys out there on Peachtree Street? I saw you there in your tie-dye. I was going to the Science of Mind Church then on Spring Street. You guys were out there dancing away, smoking away. No, not you. Not you. But we were welcoming in at that particular time the Aquarian Age. And the Aquarian Age is a feminine age. It's a creative age. It's an age where you express yourself just like Chris did. It's an age where you step out of the box. It's an age where you decide the way that you want your life and you start living your life that way. Regardless of what has happened in the past. Regardless of what other people are trying to influence you. The interesting thing is that we join somebody else in their thinking. We join them in their thinking. We join, oh yeah, that's a good idea. I think I'll accept that idea. I don't want you accepting any ideas. I don't want to accept any ideas. I want to create my own ideas. I want to come up with my own ideas. When I was that little kid in the Catholic school, and I used to hear the Apostles' Creed, and I'd have to say the Apostles' Creed, and Jesus descended down into hell, and I don't remember what the hell he was doing. But he descended down into hell, and for me it was like, this guy, this isn't my truth. This is not my truth. I'm not coming from a place of integrity. My God is a God of love. My God is in me. My God, when I heard that the kingdom of God was inside of me, I was trying to find that kingdom. What? Is there somebody with a crown on their head sitting inside of me? What's this kingdom of God? Until I came to a realization that I had to choose the God of my own understanding. And that's what's very, very important for all of us, is to choose the God of your understanding. And obviously we're all one because we all come together with the law of attraction. We must have similar ideas about the God of our understanding, or we wouldn't be here. The universal law of attraction is always bringing to you what your thoughts are, what your feelings are, what your concepts are, what you're focusing on. And it's very important for us to take our focus off something that we don't want. If we keep focusing on it and say, oh, well, God, don't listen. God, don't listen. What do you think God is up there in the rafters? God's not up in the rafters. God's in you. That's not where God is. But we get that. We still sometimes, science of mind, religious science people do this. We still think that God is outside of ourselves. Well, if God's in you, let's act and talk and walk like God's in you. Let's not allow ourselves to get into this place of fear, because fear is what takes us down. My book, The Energy Connection, and I think they still have a few copies over there. I sold over 100,000 copies of that over a long period of time. And it's been in its 4th printing. I'm done with it. I'm done. I finished it. Take it. I'm ready to write new books, but not that one anymore. But that whole book is about energy, and you are energy, and everything is energy. Everything is vibrating. And you are magnetic, and you're magnetic to the degree that you allow your magnetism to come out. And if you don't know about magnetism, that comes up from the Hermetic teachings. That comes back from Mesmer. That comes back from some of the old teachings of a long time ago, where you learn about your magnetism. Magnetism says the law of attraction is going to draw to me what I am. The law of repulsion is going to push away. Have you noticed that law, that principle is pushing things out of your life right now, right? I know it. It's pushing relationships out. It's pushing careers out. It's pushing locations where you're living out. It's pushing things out of your partners. It's pushing things out of your life. And what you're doing is you're creating a space. Now you have to be able to create a space to bring something new in. And so as you start to clear, as you start to let go, you're creating this wonderful space to open up, to allow new to come in, according to your thoughts, according to your beliefs. And it's time you changed your beliefs. It's time you expand it. I am a lady of opulence. I love the word opulence. I think everybody ought to think about opulence. Whether you want money or not, think about opulence. You'll get money. And then you'll say, I guess this is a good idea. So we recognize we can have whatever we want. We can actually have it. We can manifest it. We can create it. But it's up to us. It's up to us to choose. It's up to us to decide. The talents, the abilities that we have. We have talents, we have abilities, we have time, and we have a mind. You've got a book inside of you, you want to write it. You've got something inside of you, you want to do it. It's time for you to begin to live from today on in a new expression of yourself. Write a new story. This is what we do in my Tuesday class. We write a new story. You write a new story about the person that you want to be, and you become it. And you don't say, I want to. You say, I am. I am is the highest power of God. I am divinely guided in all that I do, and I create for myself the right and perfect career. This career opens up for me and takes me all over the world as I travel. No, don't go all over the world. Not yet. They tell you don't go yet. We'll know, everything will straighten out. It's all going to that storm that Chris was talking about. It looks bad, but it's not bad. It's clearing, it's cleaning up, it's getting rid of, it's taking things to another level. It's changing everything. And we're going to see the calm after that storm. We will see that calm. And that calm is going to be so beautiful, it's going to be so wonderful that all of us are going to just feel the joy and feel the love and feel all that it is. When I say to you that the kingdom of God is within you. What that means to me today is that there's this reservoir of whatever I would like to create. I simply plant the seeds inside of me. I hold on to those seeds. Infinite mind knows divine right timing. Infinite mind. So you don't get impatient. You don't say it's not here yet. Yes, you do, but you can't. Because when you say it's not here yet, you're stopping it, you're deleting it, you're aborting it. You say, thank you that it is here. Thank you that it is here. Because if you can understand that which you want is already planted inside of you. A couple of weeks ago, I was driving up to a Unity church in the mountains in Blairsville. And as I was driving through the mountains, I was coming out of the mountains. What is that? The park. Yeah, the state park. And I came out and there were all these cornfields. All this beautiful, beautiful corn. It was so magnificent. It was so beautiful and so green. And I was looking at it, and I passed some corn, and then I came across some more corn, and some more corn, and I thought, oh, the farmer's going to have a good crop this year. This is really nice. And then I thought about that, and I thought, did that farmer go out there, and did he pull up those seeds and say, are you going to be a good crop, and I'll put you back down there? Or when are you coming up? Or he didn't know the timing? No. He planted the seed, did what he knew to do, and then the seed came up. That's the way it is with you. Don't take and abort your dreams. If you've got something you're holding on to, everything in divine right timing. Everything. Everything. And divine right timing is not necessarily your timing. It is divine timing. So divine timing means that infinite intelligence within you knows. Here's the way I concept it, and I want you to think about this. If God is an infinite mind, knows all, is all, everywhere present, and God is within you, look at you. You can tap into that power. You can tap into that force if you allow yourself. You can have everything that you want if you allow yourself. But we don't allow ourselves because we don't have enough money, because of the way that we grew up, because we're into lack, because you can come up with 100 becauses. And it's time to get rid of that past. That when you start clearing out the past, you open up in your mind a spot, a place, a beautiful haven for new to come in. It's the law of the vacuum. We've got the law of cause and effect, but let me tell you something about cause and effect. Cause and effect. Cause is always we're always going to set a cause, we'll always have an effect. But what they don't talk about, except a little bit in the Science of Mind textbook, there are times when you get into love that you can supersede cause and effect. You can supersede it. And you can go in and you can cross over cause and effect, and you come from God's grace. And when you're coming from God's grace, it's like everything just falls into place. It comes like this. And you wonder, oh my God, look at this. It's amazing. This is happening, and this is happening, and divine right action is happening. And sometimes there's a storm. Sometimes there's a tornado. Sometimes there's a flood. But you keep going and you keep watching, and out of it comes what you want. Out of it comes what you want. So it's time to go back, revisit your mind. Revisit your mind. And take a look. What's in there? What's in there? I need to start operating out of the law of love, out of grace. God's grace working in my life. Cause and effect is mental law. Cause and effect is, if we try to do it ourselves, that's physical law. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to go and make that happen. If we start going with spiritual law, we see the end result. So write out the end result, see the end result in your mind. I came up with this an understanding that supersedes all of this. When you can start to see the end result, you don't necessarily have to even figure out how you're going to do it. Because God will do it for you. The infinite mind will do it for you. Some of the people in my class know this story, but I'm going to tell it to you all. I love to sew. Not any clothes anymore, but a button or two. It kind of takes me into a place of relaxation. So when I start to relax, I sew and I feel good. But there's that darn needle that has to be threaded. And that needle of mine, that package of needle, that needle eye is so small. So I take my thread. Oh, shoot. Maybe I got a bigger needle. I go look for a bigger needle. There's not one that's much bigger. But I try. Doesn't work. Well, I'll clip it. I'll cut it. You know what I'm doing. You know what I'm doing. And one day I said to myself, there's got to be an easier way. And the Spirit said to me, see the end results. So I saw the end results. I held the needle up. I held the thread in my hand, and I said, I see that needle going into that, I see that thread going into that needle. And I went, and I pulled it through. And I'm sewing my buttons on. Sewing my buttons on. And realized that that works for everything. Everything. Somebody over there said, that's the way I put my jewelry on. Well, that's the way I put mine on too. I just visualize it, click it. It can be a tiny, tiny little hole. And you visualize it. If you visualize it, if you image it, if you see it, if you can see it or feel it or script it or write it, you can have it. And it's much more than goal setting. Goal setting doesn't work anymore. Goal setting is trying to make things happen. Goal setting is a contrast to energy. Remember when I used to teach salesmanship at Massey Business College. Go sell, I would say, or to some of these companies. I'd say, go sell. Well, what if they don't want the product? Sell it to them anyway. Get their name on the dotted line. You know what I'm talking about. Get them to sign. And then we would tell these people, you need to have 10 sales a month. They can't get 10 sales a month. They're trying too hard. Contrast to energy. And what you simply do, is put it out there and see 10 sales coming in and see yourself guided to where you go, and the universe will accommodate you and you will make it happen. So what are we doing? We're going to live in consciousness. We're going to live in consciousness and be fully aware that we are the creator of our reality, and our reality starts right here, right now. Thank you so much.